Hi, everybody. That was a lovely welcome. A tearful but lovely welcome. Thank you so much, Marissa, for that incredible introduction and for all that you've been doing the past few years. And I am just thrilled to be here, everyone. And I'm actually incredibly thankful to Marissa and everyone at World Eye Cancer Hope and CRAB for really highlighting the importance of child life, because I feel very strongly that this is part of the essential care tools that we need to ensure that families survive and thrive when they're undergoing retinoblastoma treatment. So I really want us to focus, of course, on improving coping and reducing anxiety when dealing with retinoblastoma. So the keynote will focus on this engaging, empowering parents of children with retinoblastoma to offer personalized support and strategies that help prevent, manage, and reduce fears, worries, and anxiety related to hospital visits and treatments for children of all ages with retinoblastoma. Self-care strategies will be discussed, of course, for parents, and we will explore helping them manage the very normal fears and worries that families face during early childhood cancer treatment. And I want to acknowledge here that this is incredibly difficult for families, and if we can offer even a tiny bit of helpful strategies that will improve your overall coping, I feel like we've been successful during this keynote. So first, a little bit about me. With Marissa's introduction, I can also extend that to let you all know that I started actually working with Daisy Lloyd, one of my retinoblastoma patients many years ago in 2003. And that's how Dr. Galley, Brenda, and I got our first chance to really meet and work together. And together we noticed that there needed to be improvements in child life supports that families were offered when they were facing RB and beginning their journey in retinoblastoma care and survivorship. So through them, I met and connected with Abby White and World Eye Cancer Hope, and our child life push through World Eye Cancer Hope really developed there. I've been offering child life education programs, training, and supports worldwide, thank goodness, because of World Eye Cancer Hope. And we've had a very far reach in helping families with retinoblastoma cope better and improve their coping strategies for parents and the children worldwide. So it's been a really great journey for me to meet so many families, and I feel like you're all a part of my tribe now. Feedback about coping and coping during retinoblastoma treatment and survivorship is really important. And so what CRAB has done is asked parents what they wanted. And out of 11 responses that were specifically related to child life and children's coping, these 7 responses really stood out to me. How to help my child cope with illness and treatment. How can I prevent PTSD? Better coping skills. Helping with PTSD. How to help siblings understand and cope. How to help calm and embrace learning activities. And strategies to reduce anxiety. Now, in this slide, I think we've pretty much been able to highlight the importance of overall coping. Almost everything here really focuses on an aspect of coping and how we improve our coping to ensure that families survive and thrive. In this slide, you have the inaugural visit of actually the Daisy Fund. So this is Selwyn and Marie Lloyd with Daisy and her little sister Rose and Abby White and Brenda. They're all here together with some extended friends and members of the original Daisy Fund. And it, of course, is thanks to them that we're all united here today and sharing this incredible learning experience worldwide. So a very big thanks to the Lloyd family for getting this started, and to Daisy for helping us all on our journey here. Now, parents experience fear, worry, anxiety, all of these things. They're important and certainly a part of this journey. But I want to assure everyone that you're normal. Parents, congratulations. It's normal to feel these awful, heavy, fearful, and worried feelings. It's very significant that when a very young child is diagnosed with cancer, the first thing that pops into your mind might be fear, worry, anxiety, and fear of death. So we want, of course, to acknowledge that these are normal feelings and that there's nothing wrong with feeling them. In fact, I always want to shake a parent's hand and say, congratulations, you're normal. It's normal to be this scared. It's normal to feel these worries. And actually, I feel like it is a part of all of this. Fears and worries can sometimes overwhelm a parent's ability to cope. And it can actually become a barrier to completing their own coping tasks that they need to manage those fears and worries during the course of their child's treatment. In this particular page, we have a really neat photograph of Scrabble tiles. And the ones that are turned over and facing us, the viewer, are F-E-A-R, fear. It's right there in all those jumble of feelings. Fear bubbles to the top when your child is diagnosed. What I wanted to focus on, because I can't really give everybody a million coping strategies in a short 20-minute keynote, but I can get you started. So what I wanted, and what I've been encouraging families right now during COVID-19 and during the course of their retinoblastoma journey, is to build functional coping skills. And this means taking and focusing your energy on the things that you can control in this really out of control situation. So I have this wonderful graphic here that is on the right side of your page. And the internal circle is what we're focusing on right now. And this is a fantastic graphic that's quite specific to the COVID-19 world. And the things that I can control that are highlighted within this inner circle include things like my positive attitude, turning off the news, finding fun things to do at home, how I follow the CDC recommendations, limiting my social media, my own social distancing, and my kindness and grace. So this is a great graphic for us to focus on our energy and our time on these things that we can control. So when they relate to retinoblastoma, that can include things like love and cuddles that you give your child, family traditions. That family tradition that helps your child with love and cuddles might be ensuring that every night before bed you read a story that signifies the end of your day, however hectic or however stressful it is, but you create that tradition where you calmly enjoy a story together. And in the absence of a book, tell a mouth story. Tell an amazing story about your child's adventures. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Helen, and she loved bananas. And she traveled all around the world in the search for a perfect banana. Whatever it is, whatever your family tradition might be, whether it's a massage before bed, whether it's a silly song when they wake up from sedation after an examination under anesthesia, these family traditions are a part of what you can control in your child's cancer journey. These traditions can become quite a part of their legacy of their cancer experience, and we want to give children that routine, that familiarity in a time when everything seems unfamiliar. Being prepared for appointments with a bag of snacks, toys, clothes, comfort items, your charger, of course, and maybe a drink or snacks. These are really important go bag qualities that will help you feel more comfortable during a long wait. It will help you take back a bit of control when your child might be overtired and overstimulated from the bright lights of the hospital waiting room. And they can provide a modicum of familiarity again when you are going through multiple appointments. So I always encourage families to have a go bag. And this is literally what we call it in child life, a go bag that's ready to go with all the things that you might need should you need to go to a hospital, should you need to have an appointment, and especially for those unfamiliar times when you just don't know how much time you'll be stuck. Using comfort positions during appointments. We will go a little bit deeper into this later in this keynote, but comfort positions during appointments are just wonderful positions where you can support your child through different seating and hugging holds that will help them feel better supported during different aspects of the examination process. And that might mean hugging towards your chest, or it mean supporting their back as you rest them forward, facing the doctor for an examination. But whatever it might be, those comfort positions, again, ensure that your child feels supported and well understood during their appointment. Offering play opportunities. Children learn and de-stress through play. So we always want to offer play opportunities, whether it's a silly finger story, Tommy Thumb is up and Tommy Thumb is down, whether it's an actual play opportunity with toys, and whether it's just allowing your child to, dump out the Tupperware in the bottom drawer of the kitchen while you're cooking away. Any play opportunities that you can provide and that you can promote for your child will also increase their coping. And overall coping strategies, of course, the coping strategies that you build are the things that you can control. And I've put stars next to coping strategies here because we will go into this in greater depth. Now, I don't want families to give your energy to what you cannot control. However, I believe very strongly that you need to acknowledge those things that you can't control and then let them go. So in our graphic here again, at the right side, you can see those on the outer rim are the things that you cannot control. In this particular one, which is focused on COVID-19, it includes statements that I think apply here in retinoblastoma as well. The things that you cannot control, so you let go of these things, are the actions of others, predicting what will happen, people's motives, so other people's motives, how others react, how long this will last. All of these things are things that we cannot control, but are important for us to acknowledge. And within the retinoblastoma experience, that means pathology, that means treatments, the frequency of appointments. Sometimes you might feel like you're always at the hospital, delays and long waits. You cannot control that, but you can certainly control what you're doing during those delays and long waits. Traffic, that's one thing that we all know we cannot control despite all of our attempts. So let it go. Acknowledge that it's stressful and let it go. Canceled appointments, especially in this time of COVID-19, there has been a higher incidence of canceled appointments. And again, there's nothing that you can control about this. So acknowledge that anger, acknowledge that upset, acknowledge that stress related to a canceled appointment and let it go, set it free. And then of course, these new extreme COVID-19 safety protocols, which can be stressful for even the best person under the best situation, let alone a family that's facing their child's cancer diagnosis. So building your own coping toolkit. This is what I want us to focus on today, because building your own coping toolkit just means adding more options to how you cope as a parent. So the use of more coping strategies, we know actually through some of our child life research in my field, is that parents that have more coping strategies have actually coped better and their children experience less anxiety. So the more coping tools you try and the more coping tools you use, the reduction in anxiety is evident in children. Now, emotion-focused coping, which is what we're talking about here, is looking at and being proactive in coping. My big thing as a child life specialist is how can I prevent problems from ever happening by providing the right support before they happen. So predicting that things might happen. I believe very strongly that support and education is needed to foster and improve overall coping in retinoblastoma, because despite the stressful nature of all of this, there's a coping strategy and a coping skill that I know parents have. We just have to find the right one for you. So that proactive coping might be knowing that it's coming, that there might be a surprise or a diagnosis, or even the genetics that might be particularly stressful. Acknowledge that distress, appraise it, and then of course we want to apply problem-focused coping or emotion-focused coping strategies in order to better support ourselves and manage our stress. So let's step into what a problem-focused approach would be. So a problem-focused approach really is aimed at resolving stressful situations, the events that you might be going through that are experiencing that are stressful, or altering the source of stress. So in a situation like retinoblastoma care, we really want to be prepared as much as possible for each appointment. And a lot of the time that means educating yourself as a parent about what to expect during procedures. And I've noticed an increase in incredibly generous help on our Facebook forums and in our private groups of parents reaching out for help when an upcoming procedure is happening or a new diagnosis has been made. And the outpouring of support and personal sharing of stories has really helped parents become very problem focused in how they approach and educate themselves about each procedure. The go bag, like I said, is a really good problem focused way to direct your energy and direct your focus during a time when you really don't know what will be coming after each appointment. So having that ready to go really provides a modicum of control. And seeking out support. I do find with many of my incredible friends within the retinoblastoma community, they reached out after that very critical initial phase of their child's diagnosis and treatment. And I feel very strongly that if we all reach out and seek out support earlier on, overall coping can be improved. Ask for help if you need it, whether it's the medical team that you need to reach out to or one of our incredible parenting groups and forums. Ask for help. Everybody's here with a lot of experience and hopefully some fantastic advice and skills and strategies that can help you cope better. Now, emotion-focused coping. I've put a lovely picture here of Elsa, the princess from Frozen. Let it go. There's so much that we can do preventatively, but still we cannot change the fact that your child has been diagnosed with retinoblastoma. So we really want to focus on positive distractions, like a hobby, a TV show that you just love. There's a mom that I absolutely adore out there in the retinoblastoma world who really enjoys a good episode of Schitt's Creek, a fantastic Canadian show that just touches on a whole bunch of great humor and life lessons. I want you to look at, what you can read. Maybe a novel's not for you right now, but maybe some cheap celebrity garbage in a hilarious magazine is what you can digest at this point that takes you away from this very serious world of retinoblastoma care and treatment. And of course, hobbies. If you're an excellent cook or a quilter, or if you really love listening to music and putting together incredible playlists, put that into your coping toolkit. Find a way to build in a little bit of time for your hobby, and you will notice a reduction in that fear, worry, and anxiety. Now, managing hostile feelings, I think, is really important because sometimes we need to be angry about cancer, and that might mean going for a run. That might mean finding a really good thick pillow and having a super duper scream into that pillow. All of these are coping strategies. Some people cope by crying, and I want to support that. It is not wrong. It is not bad. It is just another coping strategy. Meditating. This can be difficult for many when our mind and our brain is filled with so many questions and so many stresses and worries and things that we need to manage as parents. But meditation can actually be very good at helping you direct your thoughts. Mindfulness practices, again, focusing on the now. These take skill and preparation, but again, many people find tremendous relief from the big stresses of early childhood cancer when they can meditate and use mindful practice. Using systemic relaxation procedures is just like focusing your mind from your tip of your head to the tip of your toes and relaxing each part of your body one at a time. And I challenge all of you tonight as you drift off to sleep to focus on relaxing first your head, then your shoulders, then your arms, then your belly, then your legs, all the way down to your feet. And if you intentionally relax those parts of your bodies, you will notice your muscles loosening. It's a pretty amazing strategy to put in your parenting coping toolkit, because I do find sometimes when you're laying there in bed, your mind is racing to all of the things that might be happening or could be happening in your child's experience and in your own. And you need to intentionally relax those muscles in order to get a good night's sleep. Now, releasing pent-up emotions. I'm a big fan of the dance party, my friends. And if you and your children and your family want to just let it rip in your kitchen with a fantastic song, I say go for it. Working out sometimes is another great way to really get out those negative feelings, and just blast some music in the car while you're driving. Just have a good time, but figure out what you need to cope and add that to your coping toolkit. Now, infants and young children, they're my thing. And I believe that kids can cope despite all of what life has thrown at them during the course of their cancer treatment. So as I mentioned, children may have a preferred comfort position, and off to the right here at the top, you'll see that there's actually a photograph of a mom offering a comfort position and actually combining it with massage. So in this picture, there's a mom and her child's back is up against her. They're just waiting. The baby's got a blanket under their bum. They're in their diaper and they're chewing on a toy, but the child is well supported while they're waiting there for their appointment. The mom is massaging their temples. Play for fun and relaxation is such a joy for children. Never forget that play is an important part of every child's experience every day, whether that means sitting in a waiting room and playing with some toys you have in your go bag, or whether it means doing a huge Lego build on the floor of your living room. Provide play opportunities as much as possible, and you may find that you relax too as a parent. Preparation, medical play, And books that are called preparation books are essential to helping you and your child understand and know what to expect during the course of this medical experience. Here at the lower middle part of the screen is actually a picture of one of my little friends in Washington doing some medical play. She's got one of my large medical play puppets and a sedation mask. And this child is practicing confidently and comfortably what will happen during their examination under anesthesia. This greatly reduces children's anxiety about the mask, and it allows them to master what will happen during the course of their treatment. I find it's also very important to offer comfort items. If there is a special toy or a special blanket that your child really needs to snuggle when they're feeling tired or when they're upset, you need to make sure that you bring that. Sucking is another coping tool too. For very young babies that are diagnosed with retinoblastoma, I always want to promote sucking, whether that's a soother, a bottle, or breastfeeding. We really want non-nutritive or nutritive sucking to be a way to promote their coping, because very young babies may not be able to even hold a toy, but sucking is a coping tool. Positive distractions, toys and songs, all of these things can provide a distraction from what's happening in the course of their medical treatment, as well as yourself. I encourage families, as you heard me sing yesterday during the Child Life program, songs are a joy. And if you can't remember a song, make up a song. Your song could even be about the waiting room and how long you've been waiting, but it's all in the delivery and that joyful expression of song that really helps children focus their attention on you and bond with you during those long stays in the waiting room. Familiar routines, as I said, if your routine includes having a story before bedtime, or maybe introducing massage after bath, or even singing to your child when they wake up after their examination under anesthesia, and they're just coming out of that anesthesia, if you have a tradition that you want to establish in singing a lovely song to your child, I encourage you to do so. And the last one on this page is positive touch and massage. Because our babies and young children during the retinoblastoma treatment experience a lot of painful procedures, I really want to promote you providing positive touch and massage strokes as much as possible to help mitigate those painful experiences that we know they have to endure. This is two comfort position posters that we developed for the Child Life program in Kenya. And in fact, Jane is highlighted in some of these pictures too. So our beloved Jane is here with us right now. These are positions for comfort, and comfort holds offer parents and caregivers an opportunity to reduce the pain and anxiety of their children during medical procedures. These are used right now at the Shoe for Africa Hospital, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret, Kenya, and they allow parents and children to explore the different types of positions that the child may feel more comfortable in while having a procedure done. I encourage all of you to take a look at the World Eye Cancer Hope website, because there is an entire section with very big pictures of comfort positions that you may want to consider. You also may just want to explore what you and your child feel comfortable doing, and just explore different positions, so that if your child feels more comfortable in your lap or in your arms during an examination, that you advocate strongly for that during the course of your retinoblastoma experience. It all takes time, so be kind to yourself. None of these things are easy, and you may need to take some time to learn these coping strategies. Children also really thrive with repetition. So if you're going to be offering something like medical play, offer it often and offer it continually, because the longer you offer it, the more chance your child has at promoting that sense of mastery and familiarity with what's going to come up. In fact, there's some children that I've prepared for their sedation that are so confident and comfortable that they can stroll into that operating room, and the anesthesiologist and the child can put the mask on the child's face, and they can be puffed to sleep. Now, try a bunch of different tools to see what works best. I like to encourage parents and children to see if there is a different position that they'd like to try each time they go for an examination, so that you can rule out the ones that you don't like and focus on the ones that you do like. Give enough time, of course, to try these strategies consistently and repeat over and over again. This is how children learn, and I'm sure you've noticed in children, the more they repeat something, the more confident and comfortable they get in doing that strategy or doing that task. If you're stuck, I really encourage you to start by figuring out what you can control, that inner circle on those posters. What can I control in this moment? And then focus your energy on this. So if that means you can only focus on making dinner right now for your family. Make sure that that fantastic and amazing dinner is celebrated between you and your family, and let all those other things that you can't control fall by the wayside while you focus on what you can control. So figuring out what you cannot control might be at a different time in treatment, different things. So focus on what that is in this moment. What I cannot control right now in my moment today is that we're not here together enjoying this talk in person. So I have to let it go and focus on making this an engaging and interesting and hopefully helpful presentation for all of you participating today. And I have to let COVID-19 go. I think that this is a great opportunity for all of us to discuss whether there's any questions you might have. So I'm happy to take this screen down and give anyone an opportunity that has any questions to ask me right now. I also want to encourage everyone to look up those additional child life resources that are available on World Eye Cancer Hope's website. And also CRAB has many of these resources as well, including the prosthetic prep book that Matt, the incredible ocularist that you met yesterday, and I created to help children prepare themselves for the experience of having a prosthetic eye made. So these additional child life resources are available. I believe all of you will receive this presentation and you can click on these links, but there's many kid-focused and parent-focused web pages embedded in the World Eye Cancer Hope website that will really help you help your child and yourself focus on what you can control during the course of your retinoblastoma experience. The comfort positions too are located there.